To be a successful shooter, you also have to be a disciplined shooter. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back with another episode of Team GLOCK University. We just finished up the USPSA Area 8 Championship, and now back here at the GLOCK headquarters, I am doing what I like to do a lot after every competition. I sit here, watch the video, and I try to analyze all of the match footage to understand mistakes that I made and how can I better fix those mistakes. So as we worked through this, we were able to see the things that went wrong, even though we felt very prepared walking into this match. So as we watch this, we see those things that went wrong, and then we develop a new plan on how we're going to train to fix those mistakes. Here's a reference for you. Of you shooting as 50 balloons inside of a room, and every balloon represents a shooting skill. And the entire goal is to keep every balloon off the floor. So as you run around hitting balloons back into the air, you're gonna have other balloons that fall. So it's a constant pursuit of trying to keep everything, all of your skills up, but it is a challenge, and that is why we do things like this, where we analyze these competitions, these match videos, even training footage. Having video evidence or video footage of everything you do is critical in being able to see everything you're doing and developing new training plans. The first mistake that I saw, the biggest one that stood out to me, was on stage one of the competition. Discipline, focus on the fundamentals, was one of the core things that I talked about. It's one of the most important things to me on being a successful shooter, is being able to be a disciplined shooter. There's a prime example here on the beginning of this first stage where I was not that. So let's check it out. So beginning of stage one, here we go. So that position called for 2 shots on the target to the left. It had 3 steel poppers at the end of the range that activated 1 swinging target. So a total of 7 shots. But in reality, I think I shot 8 extra shots. That means there was a complete lack of discipline transitioning from the close target to the 3 poppers to activate the swinger. When I made that transition, I never allowed the dot to settle. I never allowed myself to settle. And through that, I never had proper trigger control when shooting at those poppers. So I had numerous pickup shots. That position took me 9 seconds, that you can see on the screen, 9.20 seconds. And that's 5 or 6 seconds of lost time. Now, if we look at a hit factor, say this is a 5 hit factor stage, if we lost 5 seconds, that's 25 points I just lost in the very first position of the very first stage from a total lack of discipline. It's not the first time that's ever happened. It probably won't be the last time that ever happens. But it's something that I'm able to see here as we analyze, and it's something I'm able to put into practice on the range to make sure we can alleviate that as much as possible. Now, as we get further into the stage, we can see something else that it creates. So I made a reload there. This is a mimicked position of the first position. Getting down towards the end of the stage now. Last position here. And then notice what happens right there. Oh, standing reload for 2 shots. My lack of discipline in the very beginning caused my entire round count to be completely thrown off throughout the rest of the stage. Now, I should have reloaded a second time after leaving the second position to get myself back into the correct round count, but in a match pressure, stressful, flustered mind, I made the mistake of not doing that, but that was all caused because of the first position. Discipline, the fundamentals, a core requirement, a core skill of being a successful shooter. So as we compete, as we progress with this, make sure and keep that in mind. We have to be disciplined shooters. So with that being said, let's get out to the range. Let's set up some drills so that we can focus and train on becoming a more disciplined shooter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now on the range, and I've got a couple targets set up behind me here downrange. Previously in the video, we talked about being a very disciplined shooter and having that level of control to where we are extremely focused on the targets and we're not just sending shots downrange to send them downrange. So what I'm gonna do to start off here is I've got a target set up at 15 yards. I'm gonna start, this is my shooting position here. So I'm gonna start offline a little bit. Buzz is gonna go off, I'm gonna draw, move into position, and I'm gonna shoot 2 extremely controlled shots on this target at 15 yards. I'm gonna be overly controlled because I wanna feel my grip pressure, I wanna feel the trigger through the entirety of the trigger pull process, and I want to maintain that discipline and see and feel what that looks like. So we're gonna be overly controlled, but these are drills that I use to help fix that discipline when I find it lacking in competitions like we did at this last one. Okay, one more time. And one more. Downrange, we have maybe one Charlie. It's kind of right on the edge, but we were able to stay very controlled. I wasn't trying to push the sights or push the gun too hard. And like I said, as we struggle with the discipline aspect of it, I want to make sure that when I'm coming into position, I'm seeing my sight come onto the target. I'm allowing the dot to settle. My grip pressure is not changing. I'm not trying to force a shot or over squeeze one side of the gun with one of my hands, but I'm allowing the gun to stay very much under control. I'm seeing the dot, I'm allowing the dot to return to where it needs to be, and I'm maintaining that discipline. For the second drill, we're gonna incorporate this close target right here, kind of mimicking that first position on that video. So same thing, start off the position, buzzer goes off, move into position, 2 shots on this close target, transition to the far target, and still maintain that same level of control that I was just doing in the previous drill. There is no excuse on a 5-yard target to shoot anything else but an A. I'm gonna be aggressive on it, but must be A's. So load up again, we'll get started. I got after the back target just a little bit too much. I want to back that down and really focus on that discipline and the control aspect. So we'll do it again. You should be able to hear the difference in the shot cadence on the back target. That time I backed the time off just a little bit, and behind the sights, I felt like I was more visually acute and a lot more in control. So we'll do it one more time. So first target, like I said, must be all A's, 5-yard target, got all 6 alphas right here in the middle. And then for our back target, of the 12 shots that we did, we've got, there's the alpha lines, we've got 2 Charlies, so we were 10 of 12. But the grouping is good, it is centered, it is top level, right where I was aiming, so I'm happy with this overall. This is what I was looking for. I want to, obviously I said the goal is to have all alphas. These shots kind of broke right here on the line, so is this 2 points worth the time added for the makeup shot? But that wasn't quite the goal of the drill. The goal is to really focus on that discipline, focus on the control, and really be able to hone yourself back in and not shoot at full capacity on this. It's a control aspect where when I step up to the line, I know that I can allow my dot to settle. I can see it settle. Grip pressure doesn't change. The trigger process stays the same each time. I feel the trigger throughout the entirety of the process, and ultimately I maintain that control. Whenever you're at the range, whenever you're shooting a competition, maybe shoot a local match, and you feel like you're struggling with that level of discipline or that level of control, use drills like these. They really help hone that skill back in because, like I said before, to be a successful shooter, you also have to be a disciplined shooter. So take these drills, take them to your range. They're very simple to set up and they're low ammo. They don't use a lot of ammo to train on them. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helps you on the range and helps you become more successful shooters. Stay tuned. We have a lot more content. And until next time, we'll see you guys again on Team Glock University.